any button.
Just press any button, it'll light it back up again.
So
okay, leisure battery, that's showing the condition of. Freshwater tank, so the onboard tank, which I'll show you in a shortly, is under that bed, or that bunk even. So that's just showing you 25%. It's a rough, it's not exactly 25%, exactly 50%, so it's somewhere between quarter and empty. Okay. Then waste tank, you have not got a waste tank. So this model also does motorhomes that has things like that anyway. But this hasn't got that. Okay.
So we can just ignore that last column.
Exactly. The first one and the last one, don't need to worry about.
Sorry, just go back to the third one again, please. You were saying that the red one is the
so that's
water tank.
Yeah, that's your freshwater tank. Yeah. So that's what you'll be using, obviously, to your taps and for your boiler.
Yeah.
Okay. So you can scroll up or down. So again, you're looking at battery. Active battery is saying leisure, because obviously you haven't got a car connected anyway. Ampage wise, not sure it's got a solar panel on this one. I'm not sure on the spec on this. Obviously you'll be in the first one. I don't think it's got a solar panel. Obviously it's not showing much of it if it is. You probably have to spec that up. Okay, so battery amps and things like that is what it's drawing. So you don't need to worry too much about them. Then time, clock. So if I press a select button, you can go through all of these, setting time, obviously scroll up and down to set time, or alarm clock, not alarm as in, someone's nicking it, alarm clock as alarm clock. Okay, so you just scroll through on the select. Then obviously clock, which is obviously incorrect at the moment, then it goes to Airstream, and should go back to, so the main ones you want really are, is your leisure battery okay? If you've got electric, you're not going to worry too much about that, but your freshwater tank is, if anything, is the main one that...
So to watch out for, I mean, any idea what it holds?
I think it's around about 60 litres, but don't quote me on that, but that's usually around motorhome, so it's between 45 and 60 litres, I would think.
So I've just got...
So it's going to be, it'd be slightly more than Akrol, but not much more than Akrol, I would think.
If you wanted to train it down for driving, if you're doing is that a manual button outside, or is it?
Yeah, it's just under there, which I'll show you now.
Okay.
Okay, so before we start putting water or whatever in first, we need to check underneath here. Oh, just move that bit of cushion. You can see underneath. Let's move the curvy cushion as well, I'm going to make life a lot easier. Right, so Aldi system, that should look exactly the same as what you've had previously.
Yep.
Yeah. Drain down for your boiler, is that one?
So,
okay, so that in that position is closed.
That's closed.
Yeah, so that's closed, so that's allowing the water to run around the system.
Yep.
If it was lifted up, that would drain your boiler and your tap system, as long as your taps were open as well. So that would allow the water to drain out through that hole there. Okay, this one here, the big yellow handle, that's your water tank there. That will drain that. So at the moment it's closed.
Yep.
Obviously it's holding the water there. In line with the pipe, that
so it's got its own drain on it. I haven't got to put a pipe on it to drain it outside. It just does it.
No, just open it up,
through.
Off it goes. Okay, then water pump. Obviously that's going to push the water around the van.
And do you have to fiddle around with the settings on the water pump, or should it already be set?
It shouldn't need to. You shouldn't need to. It should be already set.
And to fill the water tank?
Yeah, right. We're going to get to that next. Right.
Okay.
So make sure that is closed. Obviously, otherwise you're trying to fill the tank. It's just going to pour straight underneath the van and soak the pitch you're sitting on.
Yeah.
So make sure that's closed.
And that is closed now.
Yeah, that's closed
at
now.
90 degrees.
That's
okay.
it. Okay. So we'll just come back out of there. So we then go to the control panel. And if you remember the switch bottom right, which is that one there, so you press that.
Yeah.
You hear it now?
Yeah.
It's now drawing, using the pump outside, drawing water and put it into the tank.
I see.
Okay?
I see. Okay.
It won't switch off when it reaches full.
It won't.
It'll just start overflowing outside.
Okay.
So you need to keep an eye on it. You just keep an eye on the level or whatever.
Yeah.
Once it's full, you switch it off. Okay? So once you've got a full tank, you might know if you're just stopping for a weekend or one night, you can just say fill it to half full. It depends on how much water you actually use in your van.
That's cool. That's a lot easier than
It's amazing, isn't it?
even when we stopped that night in the services in France. If it's got some water, you haven't got to muck about with an aqua roll or anything.
No, that's it.
Very good.
I just be a bit careful. Well, it's not too bad because it's at the rear of the van, but obviously any extra weight you're leaving in it, as in water, obviously is part of your payload.
Yeah.
So you're just going to be careful.
I've read up on
it's a reasonable hefty van anyway. You put obviously I'm not sure what the payload is on this one. Yeah. So if say you had an extra still 20 litres of water.
Yeah.
That's 20 kilos.
Yeah.
extra, or full tank, 40, 60 kilos.
No, agreed.
It's quite a chunk of, it's like nearly a
Yeah, this
person
is-
sitting here.
Because that Adria is heavy, although it's on
Yeah,
a single
that is.
axle, that's 1.9 and this is 2.2, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is quite, even though you've got a decent vehicle to pull it, but obviously you could also think of the fuel consumption and things like that going uphill.
Yeah.
It's
Right, so the MT-PLM is
that's your max weight.
2,100.
yeah. So your Miro,
So,
which is
Mass running order is
1870.
1870.
So that's more or less that. The empty weight
Yeah.
is as similar as your probably heavy, the full weight on that Adria.
Yeah.
So you obviously by the time you put gas, battery, and things like that, that will add it onto that the minimum one.
Yeah.
So anything else that
Right.
then you decide to put inside it,
Yeah,
all
put
the
in the
stuff
car.
for chairs and things like
Yeah.
that, obviously you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
So-
the main point of advice is, if you're going on long journeys, run the tank empty.
Yes, I would.
yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But just be considerate of what weights you're putting in, because I know
Yeah.
some people do quite
Overload
easily.
it.
You can overload it quite easily.
Is it a kilo a litre or something like that?
Yeah.
Normally
Yeah,
was?
yeah, it's roughly that. Yeah.
Cool.
All right. Okay, so imagine how we filled our tank, onboard tank. We want to get the water into the system now. So
Right.
if you drain everything down before, obviously the boiler is going to be empty, and obviously the tap system is going to be empty because you should have drained everything down. So before we switch that water pumps on there, which is that switch there, before we switch that on, make sure all the taps are closed.
Okay.
Right, shower included.
Yeah.
So I've done that before now and not.
Yeah.
And that yellow lever, which is that little one there, which is your boiler, which should be exactly the same as what you had on your Adria. Yeah, so the little flip up yellow lever. Yeah. No?
The master drain.
That one there.
No, the yellow one.
Yeah, the yellow one.
Yeah, that's the master drain. You want
Yeah,
it when
that's
it's
to
closed.
drain the whole system and the boiler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
So
one that's
make
in the
sure
bottom of
that
that
is-
wardrobe.
Yeah, make sure that's closed because again,
yes,
the
yes.
water will be going straight out your tank and straight down on the floor in that point as well if you don't close that. So, as I said before, make sure all taps are closed and in the correct position, because if you can imagine again
Yeah.
where that could be, you could end up with water everywhere where you don't want it. Right, water pump on. What we do then is I always open it up on the cold side first. Get the water running, get all the air out. Obviously I've primed it already, so normally you'll see sputter for a few minutes. Usually pretty quick, usually comes through pretty quick on the cold side. Hot side will take a little bit longer, because what you're doing then, opening it up on the hot side, you're filling that hot water tank, which is about 10 litres of air at the moment. If it's empty, that 10 litres of air is going to come out through here, so you'll have a couple of minutes of sputter until you get that air out.
Yeah.
Obviously you've got a bit of steam there, and obviously it's not instant heat, as you may be aware of.
That's
when you-
steaming hot though, isn't
Yeah,
it? Yes.
that's it. They are really good, these Aldi
Amazing.
systems.
Yeah, they are.
Right, if you're finding that it's taking a bit for the air to come out, just shut your tap down.
Yeah.
Normally you'll hear the pump run. If there's still air in it, the pump will continue to run for a second or so,
Okay.
and it'll just build the pressure up. Then just release the tap slightly, and it'll start splurting the air out. But once you've got a solid stream like that, you know your hot water tank's full. Okay, do the same with each tap,
Yeah.
because otherwise that pump you'll hear it just operating that little bit longer even after you shut the tap down.
Okay.
And then just remind me, if we were going to fill up, because it doesn't do it automatically.
Yeah.
Because you said if we put the onto the mains you said there's one to go straight into the van, isn't it?
Yes.
From the tap.
Yeah.
But if we don't stop this, it will just end up over.
Overflowing, yeah.
So,
So it just overflow under the van.
Is it that
so
one?
I
You
just
think
need to switch
it's
it off at
that
the
that one there. So it's
Yeah.
like a little tank. See
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
wavy things, yeah. So that is that fills your tank.
yeah.
This one actually switches the water pump on to
That's
pump
the
the
pump,
water
yeah.
from that to your tap to your boiler.
So that is literally the pump, like we had the rocker switch.
Yeah.
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 So that so you can operate your taps. Okay.
Cool.
Happy with that bit? Got the water system done? Right.
Yeah.
So your next thing you may want to think about is your heating
Okay.
and water heating. So this one up here, right at the funny angle and right up near the top. So switch it on, is that button there?
Yeah.
Is this the same? Does this look the same control panel?
Exactly
Yeah.
the same.
They might have just updated a couple of icons on it, but it's not going to be a huge amount of difference. On off, you should see a little green light in there. That's usually the system's working okay. You see a red light, it will normally say something on the screen like gas failure or something like that
Yeah.
if there's a problem. Okay. Top left, that little circulation icon, that's to say you've got 18 circulating. Okay, so the circulation pump's operating. If it's not there,
Yeah.
it's not circulating. Okay. This side we've got a plug. That's to say we've got electric available. So it's not operating on electric, it's just there
Right.
available. So on the consumer unit, which is under the bed, I'll show you down here. See the consumer unit? I'm just trying to think on the Adria now, if it had just a rocker switch on it. You see the orange light, it says space heater.
Yep.
Alright? If I switch that off, little plug on that on the control panel now should have disappeared. If you're just going to have a look,
Yes.
yeah, it's disappeared. So if you were trying to operate your heating and that little plug's not there, that means that you've got no electric to use. Okay, so the reason for that is, or maybe is, you haven't switched it on there, or you haven't plugged your electric in, or the bollard that you may be connected to may be tripped.
Right.
Okay, if you see down here, obviously, if I just switch that one on, you see that's now glowing nicely orange.
Yeah.
Have a look at that control panel now. It says water heater next to it. Is there a little plug there?
No.
No. What that is it's an older consumer unit that they haven't updated. So before, you may have had a fire and a boiler separate. You had two switches. Space heater was the fire, water heater was the boiler. Now you've got one unit, so what only needs one button. So if you switch that on, that is doing nothing. If I switch that one on, which says space heater, you should have a little plug on the screen now.
So that means
Okay.
it's running off the electric.
Yes. So that's 240.
Yes, that's
yeah.
fine.
So ignore the one that says water heater.
Yep.
The water heater is just a spare now. Okay. Space heater is the one you want. So that's why I'm showing you that little plug on that screen. If you can't see it, you've either switched the wrong one on,
Yep.
or you haven't switched it on, or as I said, you haven't plugged it in.
And then in terms of the gas, if we're parked up and we haven't got any electric, to run it off
Yeah.
the gas bottle is just adjusting it on the screen,
Yeah,
isn't
yeah,
it?
I'll show you that in a sec. Well, I just want to just show you for the electric
Yep.
part of it first. Okay, so if that's not switched on, or you switched the wrong one on, because it does light up and it looks like it's on,
Yeah.
it isn't. Okay, so if we go back to the control panel again. Right, so that's what that indicates there. We've also got room temperature, so that's the air temperature,
Yeah.
and we've also got exterior temperature. Okay, if I press the menu button, we can then see what else we can change. So thermostat setting, plus or minus on that. So if you want to increase the temperature a bit,
Yeah.
do that. It goes maximum 30, as low as 5, depending on how warm or cold you like it. So obviously if you set it below the room temperature, which I can't remember what it was, 18.5. So if you set it below that, circulation pump goes off.
Yeah.
So there's not, until that temperature drops to that,
Yeah.
or slightly below that, probably a couple of degrees below, then the pump will kick back in again. Okay. So if you see that that's not there, that might be one reason why it's not operating, because your temperature you set is too low. Or, so we've got water heating next. So that's water heating off. Press the plus button. Half a triangle coloured in. That's your water heating on normal setting. So that temperature that's coming out that tap, that's your normal setting. If you want to, you can boost it. So if I press the plus button again, you want extra hot water, or you want the water heating up quicker, you can put boost on. That will operate for 30 minutes, or as long as you want, and you can cancel it by just pressing the minus button. What it's doing, you can see there now, the circulation pump's disappeared. Okay, so what's happening on the boost function, that boiler there wants to keep the heat in the boiler. It doesn't want to start spreading it around the room, trying to heat the room up at the same time, because it's taking the heat away from it. So it actually shuts the circulation pump down for that period of time, then it will come back on automatically once it gets to 30 minutes, or you turn it back manually, and then if it's in the temperature range, then the circulation pump will come back on. Okay. Energy wise, so at the moment I've set it at 3 kilowatts. So if I just press that, that's all the energy off now. That's doing nothing on any energy. So you got options of 1, 2, or 3 kilowatts. Okay. Obviously 3 kilowatts being the highest, or gas. So you just tap that, goes green. So either you can use it on both, use gas on its own, or electric on its own. Okay.
So that's using both when it goes green.
Yeah. Or it's using gas.
So
Yeah.
you know when you put 1, 2, or 3 kilowatts in, what's the difference with those?
Right,
then?
so the difference, obviously it's higher energy. So if you imagine, if you can remember that far back, the electric bar fire,
Yes.
yeah? If you had 1 bar on,
Yeah.
you'd have to be a bit closer. Put 2 bars on, you can move a bit further
Yeah.
away. 3 bars on,
warm.
it's hot.
Yeah.
So that's roughly, as a gauge. Obviously the higher the energy, the more heat it's going to give you.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we compare that now, so I've set it to 2 kilowatts now. If you compare that to home,
Yeah.
a kettle at home is probably about 2 kilowatts. It's heating up a litre of water. It's not heating the kitchen. Okay, this unit that's sitting down there, 2 kilowatts, is trying to heat all of this
Yeah.
and 10 litres of
electric.
water.
Right.
Okay, so 2 kilowatts in the summer is probably efficient enough to give you a reasonable amount of hot water and some warmth in the room when it cools down, in the summer evening. In the winter, it's cold outside, 2 kilowatts will probably struggle. It's going to try and heat this up from quite a low temperature. So what you can do, operate on both. So say you do 2 kilowatts and gas.
Yeah.
It's going to be a quicker warm up because you're using gas as well now
Okay.
alongside electric. It will get up to temperature quicker, then it'll shut the gas off. It's prioritised to
Okay.
electric, so it'll tick over on electric
Right,
then,
okay.
unless someone leaves the door wide open. Temperature drops, gas will kick in alongside the gas, gas and electric.
Yeah.
Gets the temperature, shut it off again. So it'll do that automatically. It's just have a look, see what it's doing for you, especially if you're in it tonight. Try it on 3 kilowatts. If 3 kilowatts is giving you the heater you require, you might be all right.
For example, if we're boiling a kettle and we've got the TV on, or we're charging a phone, or
Yeah.
that's when we would have 3 to boost that energy.
No.
Or just keep
This
on
is
2.
this is just boiler. This
Oh,
is just
right,
yeah. It's
I
just
see.
what it's not. It's
I
nothing to
see.
do with anything down
Oh, I
here.
see.
What you've got to consider though is,
Yeah.
if you're on site, depending on what sites you're on, some have a lower amperage coming out the bollard. If you start switching loads of electrical stuff on, so this is 3 kilowatts already, which is quite high energy. Phone charger, that's nothing really. Phone charger, but kettle
Yeah.
can be quite high, depending on
Yeah.
if you get the low watt ones or not.
Yeah.
Hair dryers, anything that heats things up can be high energy. If you switch all these things on all at the same time,
trip.
it will trip that bollard.
Yeah.
But what you could do is, if you are deciding to put a kettle on, you just be careful on what other energy you're using. So you could drop it down a kilowatt and put it on gas,
I
or
see.
something like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
That's
just remember, 2 kilowatts in this time of year is going to struggle to give you the heat that you require,
Okay.
especially from cold.
yeah.
So
yeah.
it depends. If it's really cold outside,
Put the gas on.
it's worth putting both on.
Okay.
So it'll only use the gas when it needs to. Most of the time, it'll be on electric.
Yeah.
So you're not going to use your
Well,
gas.
we were here
all-
last Saturday and Sunday in the Adria, and it was -3 or 4 overnight, wasn't it? But
Yeah.
it did all right.
And you're on 3 kilowatt.
No, it was on 2. But
Oh, 2 kilowatt. Yeah, I'm going to say it's just how, if you're quite happy in that temperature,
yeah, it
because
was,
sometimes when it drops, sometimes you'll feel it in 2 kilowatt.
Yeah.
You might trying to put the temperature up to say 30 degrees, and it's not going to get there because it just hasn't got the energy to get it up to that temperature.
Cool.
All right, good. Right, other things. Fridge. This I would have thought it'd be too much different.
Yeah, just freezer box and
Yeah.
just
So-
freezer.
Nice blue light.
Yeah, nice blue light. I can feel nice cool air coming from it as well. On-off button.
Yes.
Okay. You can just see that it just brightened up as I pressed it.
Yeah.
That was just lighting it up because after a few seconds or so it dulls back down again. Not that you can see it because both doors are across it anyway. Electric. If you want to select gas, I can select gas.
Yeah.
12 volts. That's coming from the car.
Yeah.
Okay, as long as you've got them electrics connected on your car. Showing failure at the moment. It's obviously recognised there's no car attached, so the engine has to be running.
Yep.
Okay, if that's doing it on the gas, that means that the gas hasn't lit. Okay, so what you need to do is one, check you've turned the gas on. Remember the green button,
button.
and then the other crash sensor button.
Yeah.
If it's still not working, what the probably is then is maybe have a bit of air in the system. So all you need to do is just press that button then. That'll re-temp to light it. It may take 2 or 3 attempts if you haven't used it on gas for a while. So you just press it again, and let it reset.
And the
Okay.
blue bar stacking up right to left there, just
Yeah, that's temperature range.
Does that mean it's on full cold at the
Yeah,
moment?
that's
or-
the full. Yeah, that's the coldest setting.
Yeah.
So if I press this one here, so that'll just go round and round and round,
Yeah.
depending on where you want to set it to. Depending on where you are and what temperature it is outside, obviously 2 or 3 is probably about average for this country. If you're in the hotter climes, then obviously obviously needs to work a bit harder.
Yeah.
And does
Okay.
it connect automatically to whichever power supply is available?
It's not an auto.
Okay.
Not an auto. So you need to select whichever one you
Okay.
need. So you select electric.
Okay.
Okay, the battery side of it, that is 12 volts coming from the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're aware of that. It doesn't cool the fridge down, it just maintains the temperature in the fridge while you're travelling. So you need to cool it down first, overnight or wherever. If you've got it in storage, obviously you may not be able to do that. But yeah, that only maintains the temperature. It acts like a cooler box as you're travelling. Okay, happy with that? And that one, right, obviously in the summer, you can get a bit of condensation around the freezer door,
Yeah.
and that can freeze shut. That will warm the door up.
So if that's shut.
Yeah, if that's shut, yeah, you can still get at it. You still
Oh,
get it.
yeah.
Yeah. So that will then be able to release the door then.
Right.
All right.
Amazing.
Yeah, and what we've got now buzzing, that's because someone's left the door open.
Temperature warning,
And,
yeah.
it's realised that and it's letting us know. Okay. Right, cooker. Onto this bit. Shouldn't be too much different than I would have thought the Adria. You got igniter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously be very careful though, you can see the little sign on there, make sure it's cold before you drop that down. You've
Yeah.
got a combined oven grill. You've also got light for the
Oh, okay.
oven grill as well. This has to be fully open. I've been told by the engineer for the oven to light or the grill to light.
Okay.
Once you've lit the oven, you can shut it.
Shut it.
Obviously,
That's
otherwise
right,
it wouldn't be any good. But okay. Right, inside. You have to come this side. Inside here is the expansion tank for the heating system. I'm just trying to think where you may have had that in the wardrobe or whatever.
Up and down
There
here.
we go.
Just stick that there. Right, so that your expansion tank for your heating system is just up here.
Yep.
You can see that. Just make sure it's above the minimum mark before you start. When it's cold, it will expand up into that tank if you need to. If you need to top it up, it is an antifreeze mix, so you may be aware of that from the last one.
And how would you top it up?
Yeah, there's just
From there?
yeah. So just unscrew the top. It's just a little
Okay.
top, and you just unscrew that.
No, we've not had to touch any of
No,
that. No,
most of the time you shouldn't need to.
No,
but
that's what we-
it should be the expansion tank just on this wall here.
Yeah.
You see it?
What is that? Antifreeze.
Yeah. So that's the system that's circulating around your van for heating.
Right. Oh, okay.
Okay. So obviously you don't need to drain that for winter because obviously it's got antifreeze. Okay. But if you need to top it up, that's where you top it up.
Yeah.
Okay. Then aerial. So that should look pretty. I would have
Yeah,
thought
so-
usually
yeah,
it should be
pretty
pretty similar.
standard, yeah.
And with this one, it's actually got a signal finder. Well, not signal finder, but a signal strength indicator as well.
Yeah.
That's the same.
Yeah, so that obviously showing you green at the moment. That shows it's got a signal.
The rocker switch on the top.
Yeah, like I said,
Yeah,
you can see
same.
it.
That's what we're using.
Yeah, no, not much different. Okay, that's your pack for the Airstream. The handbook I put actually on the kitchen sink on the side of. And that's just access to get on.
So there's 3 outputs on that aerial. So one down, I can see one in the
Yeah.
bedroom and one down the other end.
That's one thing I'm not sure on, to be quite
Is
honest.
it the
yes.
radio?
Oh, radio, yes, sorry, yeah, radio.
Oh,
I
on
can
the
see that
radio.
from it,
Yeah.
2
Okay.
TV points on radio.
Yeah.
Got it.
All off the same internet. Okay,
Well done, you. See?
right. That's it. If you want to,
Homework.
yes, you want to shut that? That's good because some people don't. Some just turn up and say, "Oh, what's that? I've never seen a caravan before." Right, just going back to your consumer unit. Obviously, we talked about the heating, water heater, space heater one. Charger button, which is the green one. So as long as that's switched on, you've got 240 connected, it will charge your battery.
So should we turn that off when we're driving?
No, as soon as you unplug 240, that's it. There's no power to it anyway.
Right.
So it's not going to be on when you're travelling. So all that is just on the 240 side. So you should have trips.
Yep.
Yeah, so it should be similar to the last one. This one here is an indicator light. It's a reverse polarity. So if you go on the continent,
Oh, yeah.
they wire slightly different than what we
Yes,
do.
they do.
You plug your electrics in, come and have a look. If it is lit, you need an adapter to operate off the
Yeah,
electrics.
we've got a polarity tester.
Yeah, so you might have one that just plugs into a socket.
That's right.
Obviously, these consumer units come with it.
Wow. That's
Okay,
clever.
and then what you've also got is similar buttons to what you got on the control panel. Don't ask me why they want to be on the consumer unit down here, but this particular model has them actually attached to the top of the consumer unit as well. Oh, easy to get down here. Then you've got 12-volt fuses. So everything that works in the van obviously has a 12-volt system. And what we've also got is a system shutdown button. Okay, when you're in storage, to protect your battery, you can switch that off. There's always something ticking over on 12 volts in your van. That will shut all that off.
Okay.
Okay, but remember to switch it back on again when you come to use the van because nothing will be working.
So is that including if you wanted to do the motor movers?
No,
Are they
motor
separate?
motor mover separate.
Okay.
That goes direct from battery to mover.
Okay.
Okay. Right, down here we've also got obviously rugs. I'm just trying to see.
Yeah.
Oh, wheel nut
Shower
spanner.
mat.
I can't see the wheel nut spanner. Yeah, so a shower mat. We've also got nice containers. So you got your top for your sink.
Oh,
Also a
yeah.
drawer, cutlery drawer
Oh, nice.
on that side. I'm just trying to think what was that side there.
Looks like a draining rack.
Oh, that's your. You've got a basket there, and there's your direct water supply
Yeah.
pipe,
Okay. Yeah.
and
Yep.
obviously your cable. Just trying to see if it's got the
Spanner.
wheel nut spanner, which I can't see.
Underneath. What's that?
No, that's your
the
leg
winder.
winder. Sometimes you get stuck in that. No. So I can't see that, so we'll have to find you one. Get you one of them.
Manage.
Yeah, just a bit. The funny angle of that.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. Nice little containers that come with it as well.
That's great. It's not engineered there, is it?
No, I can't.
Oh, Charles.
I've got tiles with it. You can get that from your normal car.
No.
Definitely not.
Where is it? And then there's some little pipes there.
I think that's just for the water system.
There's
Just
gas,
have a-
gas, and then
Oh,
there's
is
a
it
cross
gas, is it?
setting.
Oh yes. I love the right. Yeah, so that's your shut off
Yeah,
gas
yeah.
gas points. That's your shut-off gas points for individual appliances. You don't really need to switch them on or off. Okay, they're just isolator valves for when they're working on them.
Right.
Obviously, the main shut-off point is on the gas bottle itself.
Right.
Okay. You can switch them off if you want to, but I tend to leave mine on. Okay. As long as I've turned that gas off at the front, that's where the main supply is coming from. Obviously, the engineers, if they're working on something, will have to isolate certain things. So that's where they may isolate them. If you get a van back from service and you think, well, why is my cooker not working? It might be because they've isolated it and they might have forgot to switch it back on again, which is down there. Okay.
Very good.
Right. I'll say I don't think there's too much.
That's your standard tap job, isn't it?
Apart from you've got obviously the flush is off the main tank.
Oh yes. Oh, sorry, Dave.
That's the door again.
What are we going to do with all the pink fluids?
You've got gallons and stuff. Sell it or leave it. Right. So yeah, you got your flush tank.
Okay.
Obviously through there. If you notice, this is not plastic,
Oh yeah.
and all this
Oh gosh.
is a proper toilet. So be careful when you put that down.
Yeah.
It's going to go clank.
That's why it weighs 2.5 tons.
Yeah, it's
And this is not this is not a plastic sink either.
This is proper.
We've got proper soap dispenser.
Soap dispensers and all sorts of things. Also, you've got your extractor fan above your head. So all you do is just push that handle up. That opens a vent up on the roof. Obviously, for travelling, make sure that is down.
How do you do that then?
You just push.
Oh right, I
And
literally.
then this little switch here.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, so you've got extractor as well. But again, make sure that is down.
Okay, that's easy.
Because obviously any water that's going to be going over the top of it, it could be coming into your bathroom. You definitely don't want that.
That isn't a cupboard, is it? Or is it? It's a cupboard.
Yes.
That's a cupboard.
Got too many things. Well, there again, it should have this many things. Thinking about it, it's
Yeah.
not a cheap van, is it? You've got your smoke alarm and carbon monoxide alarm also fitted there. What's he trying to break?
Hang on.
Nothing.
What have we done? What have we done?
Break it before we signed complete and we paid our money.
That's incredible.
Yeah, light switches for your bathroom, bedroom even. Bedroom there.
Yep.
Bathroom is just by you,
Yeah.
in front of you, which is also the other light, which is a floor light, blue floor light. You've also got power there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a little shelf.
That's the 50 Shade of Grey light down there.
Oh, I say. Oh, I say.
Right. 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 I don't know if you've seen obviously I had to play with the one when you came to have a look. To operate windows, that's obviously locking it, then twist it, then using two hands.
Ah.
So if you can see that, there's a little lock. Can you see for the side there? There's a little lock it in.
Oh yes, I can see that.
Yeah. So just make sure you lock them
And
in.
there's 3 different levels.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just be careful. If you're getting a bit breezy,
Yeah.
you might just lift and it
Yeah.
comes slamming down if you're not careful.
Can I just point out, is that meant to be? It looks like it's bent.
Just,
Yeah, it's not. Oh, there you
Is
go.
that a
Or is it
flushing?
just-
Is it like a lead flushing or something that does it?
It's gone back
I know
in.
it's thin. Oh, it's thin. It's one of these things. Isn't it? I don't know a huge amount at the moment because this is the first one I've done. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on it. If it is causing you problems, then obviously there's people who can sort things out. Yeah. So just be careful on them as well because they do fly.
Pretty lively. Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got a bit of spring loading on them.
And they're little blackout blinds, aren't they?
Yeah.
And that one just.
Just
Slides up.
It's probably a two-handed job as well. I thought.
Yeah.
Even though it's got a single hand. Yeah, so,
Yeah.
yeah, obviously because it's on a curve and things like that, they obviously do different things compared to what your Continental or UK spec do.
So literally 2 windows
Yeah, you got a window. Oh, not on that one. There's obviously the opening one at the.
at the back.
I think there's one side one as well. I think. Yeah. So you've got an emergency exit type one as well. You just see this side.
Right. Okay.
So if
Yeah.
you need to get out of that, there was something drastic going on if you've got to get through there. But
yeah.
and looking at that, you would just pull that loop there, which obviously pulls the
The mesh.
mesh out of the way.
Okay. Yeah. Don't pull it.
No, don't pull them. Down to you somewhere. There's someone
Hood.
else. Yeah, so you got an extractor on that one as well.
Because when you said that didn't open, I thought, well, it's got to have somewhere to go.
Yeah.
It's got a cooker.
Yeah, it's actually got its own
Extractor.
Okay.
I can't reach.
You can't reach that.
Down.
That's my space.
That's where you can hide stuff. Some very nice stuff. Very nice stuff.
Oh, it's amazing.
You're if you notice, obviously your table's sitting underneath that
Yeah.
there at the moment.